Good morning, everybody. It's, last one today, all good to go. And here we are, the very last one. And we've got just a section of this middle bit to put in and a few little bits of areas to work it together. But I'm sure after doing 29 more, we can do this. No more bubbles around the border, all that's done. And it's just about seeing where we go. So if you're ready, I'm going to come in with a pencil here. And I put my little cross in just as normal. So where we're going to start with. We've got this curved line here that needs a little bit of addressing. And the first thing then, looking at my point here, it's sort of coming around to this sort of direction here. So that's where I'm going to head with that one. And then of course, we've got to have something coming the other side to form one of these petals. So looking at it again, this is why it's brilliant to have this cross in here, because we can give an indication as to where it's going. And I'm going to extend that line up to the point there. Oh, I know, Reeve, September, this is it. So what I'm going to do is come from here and I'm going to come around to here. You see? Just a little kink there, bring it back in. And that puts that petal shape back in there. So far so good with that, that's okay. And then let's, I think before we do anything else, I'm going to put that in because we know it's going to stay there. So I'm going to draw this bit in here and then along here too. Okay, there it is. And then inside here, we're going to start quite narrow and we're going to come out a little bit wider to create that line. And I'm going to put those, for the last time, those underlapping sections in there, like that. All right, so couple in, job done. I'm going to fill in those gaps as I'm going, just because I know it's going to stay. And it's almost like a thinking time, isn't it? I think I'll fill in those gaps and I'll just think about my next step whilst I'm doing it, because it's safe at this particular point. We've not got to add anything else to it. We've just got to put in those little shapes. Okay, so there's that bit done. And we know, because we've got this here, we know that we have another one coming across here. So I'm going to imagine, I don't know, maybe centre of this bit, about there, yeah. And I'm going to bring that down to join it. One there. And along here. And along here. Oh, do you know what? I know, Pam, I know it's sad because we're finishing, but what an achievement. What an absolutely wonderful achievement, isn't it, to have done this. Okay, what about this one here? Let's have a look, because it's sort of wandering off in this direction, so we need to continue that in. And as before, I'm going to follow those, put those extra ones in, and of course this one too, into there. It gives that one, that finishing section. And in here, we've got a couple more of these little loops. You see, there's one almost trying to peek out there, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put one in. It's going to sort of work its way though around and into this, both of these two tiles here, and I can get another one in there. It's going in to that same point. And just like the others, we want to put in that loop, a couple of dots, and the loops, and a couple of dots. Okay. And then I'm going to use a thicker pen here. I know I think some of these have I put dots and bubbles in, I have, but I'm going to add some ink to these. Putting those in like that. And just finishing a little bit off there. Okay, liking that. That's that bit done. So this here as well, I'm going to come in and thicken up this area just a little bit. have a look at that. There you go. Okay. So this bit's done. This bit's done. We've got this. So now let's have a look at this side here. We've got the petal already in. So it's a case of working out what's going in this gap here. So I think what I'm going to do, just for the purposes of, I'm going to come back in with pencil, because here in this section, and it's sort of coming underneath here and coming over here to a point. Now, let's have a look. Now yours might be a little bit different than this, because my point sort of stops there, but if it stops there, it's got nowhere to go, so I've extended it a little bit over there. And then I'm going to come on in, and this is going to have loops. Okay, let's go a bit wider there. And then a loop. Let's do another one. You see, that just gives that a little bit more shape there. And now you can see the whole thing. It's nice to add something in if it needs to have. And then as you can see here, that will come up towards it. Okay. And then this one is going to come around and into the underneath of that one. So your loops you might find work a little bit differently to mine, but I wanted to have some of that area where I could fit that in. And I think here, because it's sort of going to extend it in a little bit more, and I want to finish it so it looks neat. So let's finish it where it's got an end point. All right, let's put this in with pen. You ready? In there. And then this one's going that way. Into there. Round into this one. So all going back to that one point. And then of course loops in the middle of each. Working round over that little mark. Oh, Pam, that's a good idea. There's two of them to sort of go with. One we did, it's just a trial to see what worked. It was beautiful. And then last year we did our second. So it'd be nice if you've enjoyed this. By all means, go and find the others. They are called Advent. I think Chris did mention that they're in playlists on YouTube, so you can go and find that and you can follow all those. That would be great. And then this one here. There we go. We'll see how that sort of works its way around. And then coming to this last little section, we've already done it in pen, so let's get some pencil on. Before I do that, I just want to get rid of that sort of mark in the middle, and you know those little rough sketch lines around those loops there. Okay, and here we go again for the last time. Or maybe not the last time, maybe we're going to go back round and do a little bit more and things like that. Maybe you want to sort of add more shading. So it might be the finish of the image, but not necessarily the finished part of the piece. So into this one. And to this one. Little bits in there. Okay. And our tortillon. Let's soften all that off. And get it round. We're so used to this now, hopefully these balls work through. And of course, as we've been doing it, we've been talking about just, you know, trying to make your day more positive. Not worrying about the little things too much. And just taking things as it comes. And of course, you see here, I'm going to extend that. Finding that if something's not quite right, you can sort of think on it and spend a little bit of time. And some things you make the decision there and then and go for it. So I think we've had quite a few deep little conversations, which have been great. hopefully helped you along a little bit and given you a little bit of a positive sort of feel on life. That's the whole point. Just noticed a couple of highlights I hadn't done in there. And there it is. That was quite a quick one this morning, sorted. I think I'm going to put a bit of pencil in there. It's quite a white section. So I can always rub it out if I don't agree with it later. It's fine. So there we go. Joe, yeah, hang on. I'll write that down because I've got a list here whilst I'm doing Joe White Wax Pencil. There you go. Okay, so let's have a little look at it. All done and finished. Now, when I say all done and finished, I will want to go back in and highlight some areas. So maybe some white chalk. I'm going to go in with a little bit of colour in places, I think. But certainly I'm going to highlight this section here and maybe some of the loops, see how that goes. But what I would like to do, I'm going to give you tomorrow to catch up and finish and have a think about it. Stick it on the fridge or something and think about what you would like to do with it. And on Monday, what I'll do is go through how I would change it up a bit, how I would add colour, how I would, add it to a backing piece, things like that. So entirely up to you. You can leave it as this. You can put it away in a cupboard and never see it again. I think you should put it in some sort of frame, even if it's only for a little while, and put it on the wall and just appreciate and enjoy what you've done. But I will come back on Monday and I'll give you some hints and tips as to what you can do with it to start to clean it up and make something of it. So the original piece, I drew a little bit smaller and it's in the process of being painted. So I just want to bring that in so you can see it, because it's the same but different if you want to sort of look at it that way. So here is one that I've been working on. I say it has been painted using the Hemi paints, and so little bits at a time, and it's just fantastic, isn't it? Look how I've actually gone in and added the black in areas rather than keep it to that. I say completely different. So looking at this and looking at this, we've still got the centre. We've still got those petals coming out, you see. Still got my little bubbles, and I've actually filled in those areas there, whereas here at the moment they're not. So it's nice to have a think and see what's going on with it. Of course, once you've decided and you're happy with it, then post it. I think what I'll do, I'll photograph this one, I'll post it, and then I'll say Monday we'll do a little bit more, and I'll then post that so you can have a good photo. And yes, thank you, Mum. Benji's okay today. We had a bit of an issue with a wasp in yesterday, and he's frightened to death of them. So all sorted now. So have a lovely day, everybody. I do hope that you've enjoyed this. And I do hope that you'll either continue doing a little bit each day, or come and join me on the tiles, or even if it's not this, you actually pick up something and you craft, or you have 5-10 minutes every day just for yourself. So with that in mind, I'll leave you to it, and I'm going to go and have a cup of tea and start my day. So enjoy, everybody, and see you later. Bye.